God bless you.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 3 months since my last confession. In that time, I've been guilty of repeated sins against chastity, and I've doubted my faith.
How old are you?
20. And I'm a sophomore at the university.
Tell me about the repeated sins against chastity.
She's a senior, and I've known her, well, we started dating at the beginning of the term. She has an apartment, and I've been there most of the time.
You plan to marry this girl?
Well, she doesn't want to. Not now, anyway. She feels that there's a lot of work to be done. She's very politically conscious, and she wants to make the world a better place to live in, that kind of stuff.
Is she of our faith?
No. God doesn't matter to her.
You waited a long time to come to confession.
I guess I knew I had to make a choice.
Have you made it?
I don't know, Father. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I love her.
There's nothing wrong with love. And there's nothing wrong with sex. It's good. But in the proper context. In marriage. Tell me about the doubts about your faith. Is that because the girl doesn't believe?
No, she has nothing to do with it, Father. You see, my problem is that I read a lot. See, I went to a parochial school, and I went to a Catholic high school, and I'm Catholic because my parents were. I didn't know any other way, and then I got to college, and I met other people, and I read more books, and everything came unglued. Things made less and less sense to me. And then I went to Mass, and that made less and less sense to me. God just seems so far away. I don't know who I am.
Who you are depends on what you decide to live for. And if God seems far away, it may be that you've closed him out.
Oh, Father, I gotta be able to feel it. Otherwise, it's not honest. I gotta go the whole way. And right now, I don't feel it. And I'm not gonna go on living a lie.
What's your major in college?
I'm in pre-med. My father's a doctor, and that's expected of me, too.
Well, you said before that you never had to question your religion until you came up against the wide-open challenge that you get in a university atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm studying science with a philosophy geared to the 13th century.
Yes, the gospel was geared to the 13th, but it's also geared to the 21st, just as it was to the 1st. But it has to be understood, and it has to be applied. And I think that's where you can do a little better.
I don't understand.
Well, look, you're in an intellectual atmosphere, you've got a good mind. Use it. Study your faith exactly the way you'd study another subject.
Father, what's to study? I've been through the catechisms 100 times.
Catechisms for children. You're a man. Read some theology. Ronner, Conger, Kung. You'll find it challenging, but it's exciting.
Yeah, well, Father, I didn't come here for a reading list.
No, the important thing is that you're here. It doesn't seem to me that you've lost your faith. You've just ceased to nourish it and shape your life by it. And this relationship with a girl, that seems to be leading you nowhere.
Yeah, she's the one real understandable thing in my life, and you're asking me to just give her up, huh?
Is there really anything to give up? It seems to me she treats this as a casual sexual experience, and I think you'd want to give it up.
I can't. I can't.
You can try. Sincerely try. That's all God expects.
No, I can't.
Stories of spiritual conflict in the 20th century. Insight.
We have been called an anxious people. I don't think we have any monopoly on anxiety, but we are anxious, there's no doubt about that. Paul Tillich, the great Protestant theologian, says that most of our anxiety is caused by a feeling of futility. Sometimes our lives seem to make no sense. And so we look for some goal, some purpose to give meaning to all else. Until we find it, we should be anxious.
Al,
Uh-huh.
the plural of rats, is it R-A-T-O-N-S or E-S?
A medical student, you're asking about Spanish. I know a couple of words in Latin, but I don't think I can help you any of them.
Well, the prodigal son returns. Where have you been?
I had some things to do.
There's still some spaghetti in the oven.
And one can of beer in the refrigerator, so it shouldn't be a total loss.
What about this? Plural of rats, S or E-S?
Yes, but why the Spanish?
That neighborhood is 38% Mexican. It gives a good ethnic feeling to the protest. We've got 30 more of these to letter tonight. You want to go get something to eat and then come soil those fine surgeon's hands?
All right. Oh, I see Al got all the meatballs again. Pasta is not for Jewish stomachs. I need solid protein nourishment. Pasta, as we say in the old country, is for you lead-lined Aryans. I've decided to stick these fine surgeon hands into politics. What does that mean? It means I'm switching my major to political science, to something I can believe in. I'm sick of living my parents' lives. That is living for the past. Just when we get Medicaid, you desert the sinking ship, like those rats.
I'm glad, Martin. That's a good choice.
That depends on what kind of politics. If you want to be president, like any other American boy, that's one thing. But after last summer's picketing, I think you're safer in a hospital.
Look, in politics, we're treating a more frightening disease than anything you're going to find in medical practice.
I know. Oh, do I know. I know very little about medicine, and less about politics. If I'd known anything about politics, I never would have worked under the auspices of the Southern Christian leadership. When I tried to explain that to my mother, who's already upset because I wasn't a rabbi...
Come on. We promised 50 more signs, and Jim Callahan has promised to deliver 75, maybe even 100 students for the march.
Right. So some of them be lucky and won't have to carry anything.
Look, this is our biggest demonstration to date, so...
So how did that meeting of the faculty council go? I bet that shook them up, huh?
Sure. But what can they do since it's Sunday and off campus? The police force has put on special details. We should really stir them up with this. I'm sorry you can't be there, Martin.
Who says so?
Oh, well, I thought you had some standing date with the church.
I'll be there. What's tomorrow, some kind of holiday? No.
You mean your plane just not going?
That's right. How come? I just decided. Well, some got religion, some don't. I get the meatballs and he gets the girl.
That's a good choice. Come on. We've got work to do. Are you ready? Martin, don't just sit there. We're late. Come on. All the top people from the committee are going to be there. Come on. What, did you get another one?
Yeah.
Family again?
Yeah. My folks were pretty upset I didn't go home for the Christmas holidays. It's the first time I ever missed. I mean, not being there for Christmas.
Well, there's always got to be a first time. I mean, look. Instead of an empty ceremony, you pick some useful work in a Detroit slum. Now, that should make some sense to you if it doesn't to them.
It's roughest on my mom. I mean, my daddy kind of understands. He thinks I should follow my own conscience, but that I shouldn't break any laws.
What do you expect? He's part of the power structure. You going or not?
I got these books to read for
You
the
can
report.
do that later, Martin. I can lend you my notes on them.
Oh, well, and after you pass the course for me, will you remember it for me, too?
You are in one of your difficult, non-relating periods.
That's right. Are you making a speech tonight?
You know I am.
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of tired.
Well, then, if you're tired, there's no point in you trying to study, is there?
That's right. So, if we're going to spend an evening not studying, why don't we go to a show? Or would you rather go walking someplace?
What's the matter with you? We've worked so hard, now it's time to get a little recognition and enjoy it. Meet some of the top people in this movement.
Oh, yeah, Tom Mulhall will be there, won't he?
Of course he's going to be there. He's chairman.
Just love that, won't you?
What is that supposed to mean? Are you jealous? I broke up with Tom before I even met you. I haven't seen him since. I haven't been with anyone. Maybe that's the trouble. What, are you being antisocial or anti-me?
Oh, look, I just don't want to be a part of this committee. I want to find out who I am. I want to find out who you are. No, I can't do that through group therapy.
Are you having an identity crisis? Why don't you go out in the Imperial Valley and pick some lettuce, rediscover your roots in the earth? I'm getting pretty sick of it, too.
Yes.
How are Wednesday's children?
I'm not quite sure.
Is this a private fight? I'll come back later.
No, that's private. Come on in.
Martin!
Hey, well, where you been, man? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks.
I've been dissecting. You would not believe the gadgets in the human body. Man, you're well out of medicine. And the things that can go wrong. You know, if I basically wasn't a pessimistic man, I'd start to worry.
Martin, what are you going to do?
You got anything planned?
I never plan, I drift.
Let's have dinner like we used to, huh? A little ravioli, huh? A little wine? How about?
I bring beer, he wants wine.
What about the committee dinner?
Oh, well, there she is, boy. That half girl, half committee.
Look, I didn't come here to start any trouble. I just came here because I had no place else to go, and I wanted to tell you that I signed an application for the Peace Corps. That's the extent of my news, so now I'll go and let you all be very happy.
Hey, wait, don't go.
Martin, are you trying to get some message across?
Hey, why the Peace Corps?
I don't know. I figured I had it up to here with books and studies. I'd like to see how it is with people before I finish, you know, before I get my degree. Maybe I'm goofing off, I don't know, but I think it's going to help my studies, and maybe I'll get a chance to help people, too. Anyway, so it shouldn't be a total loss. I'm going to get a chance to travel. I asked for South America.
Martin, I've asked you a question.
Yeah, it's a drag. I don't want to go. Huh?
Well, I do.
Oh, well, then it's a draw, then, and I think we ought to let Al have the deciding vote.
You know where you can go. And you, too!
I take it I didn't start the problem. It's been going on for a little while.
Yeah, it's been going on.
I've heard of speed reading, but this is ridiculous. What's wrong?
I don't know. I wish I knew everything. It's just the hypocrisy and everything in what I do. I'm not working for people. I'm working for me, for recognition by the chairman of the campus committee. You think I'm working to learn? No. I'm working for grades. It just doesn't make any sense, Al. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. It's just all so futile. It's just meaningless. Ooh, I'm such a hypocrite.
At the moment, you're a nihilist.
Yeah, that's the answer, the fact that there's no answer.
As my mother says, if you don't ask questions, you won't get a foolish answer.
Hey, this Peace Corps deal. Can you get me an application? Hey, look at that.
From the Peace Corps, you got accepted.
Right. Hey, you know, I asked for something to do with economic or social planning. They put me in a public health group.
Report to UCLA for 3 months training. Hey, buddy, we'll be training in the same class. Look, it makes sense from their standpoint. You know a lot more about medicine than you do about political science. The idea is you help them, they don't help you.
That's
Great. Have you told Sandy?
No, I haven't seen it.
You break up?
Yeah, oh, look, that was going nowhere. I don't want to sound like a moralist, but that is not what love is all about.
Well, as my mother says, what's meant to be, you can't do anything about. And what you can't do anything about, you might as well enjoy.
Your mother.
Got a big mouth, that's what my father says.
Hey, you're going to UCLA now. Are you trained in medical group, too?
I'm in a public health group. They couldn't make me Surgeon General till I got my degree. Hey, maybe we'll be assigned together. I've asked for Bolivia.
Bolivia?
Yeah, I like the sound of the name, Bolivia. I told my mother about it. She ran right to the encyclopedia, found out it's 90% Indian, and now she's worried I'm going to get scalped. My mother thinks that everything past the Hudson River is wilderness. What do you folks think?
Well, they can't quite figure out what I'm doing. Of course, then they haven't figured out what I've been doing for a long time. I don't know, I guess my dad will be elated that they threw me back into medicine. Oh, you know, that really bugs me. I've spent a whole 2 years in the Peace Corps doing the doctor bit, and I'm gonna have to go back to doing what I should have been doing right in the first place. Now, I was thinking about withdrawing my application.
I wish you'd do me a favor and stop thinking so much. From all that thinking, you're gonna get a headache. You know what you are? You're a kvetch. You know what a kvetch is? A kvetch is...
A nudge?
Right. Look, it won't be so bad. We'll be assigned together. I got a great idea. We'll bill you as the great white surgeon. I'll be your road manager. Now we can only find a nice kosher house for Friday night suppers. We got it made.
No tienes que apurarte. No te va a doler. Anda, tus padres estarán muy, muy contentos cuando te vean que tú no lloraste ni nada. Esto no te va a doler. No, eso no es nada. Mírame a mí. Anda. ¿Ves qué bonito? Tus padres estarán muy orgullosos de ti, ¿ves? No fue nada.
There you go, big boy.
Dile adiós. Adiós y gracias. Vamos.
Adios.
Those are the last ones.
It's 307 since this morning.
You know, I'll never get used to the way these kids take those shots without showing any pain. It's really something.
It will be a great shame to them and to their families.
Where I come from, my folks used to say, yell so the neighbors know we can afford the doctor.
Perhaps it is because even if we could afford a doctor, we had none until you came.
And there we go. If the carburetor in that ancient Jeep holds together.
When will you be back?
Colina Verde, Shibanto Capa, Pico de Oro, then we come back to the Petrayas Valley. That should be about 3 to 5 weeks.
If the carburetor holds out.
But I will work for you.
You better, Angelino. You've been the best assistant we've had.
You've got a wonderful way with children, Angelino. You'd make a good doctor.
I wish I could study to be a doctor. That I pray for.
Pray for? Why don't you work for it?
I will, senor. I will come back in the morning and help you load the automobile.
Thank you. Is the report finished?
I don't have the breakdown to the Mantoux test yet. If you're volunteering to help write it, I accept. Where are your notes? Hey, listen. We're running short on vaccine. We can stop at Pico de Oro for some.
No, just as well we don't carry that much. One of our teams up north had all their supplies smashed.
Oh, yeah, the local curadores are stirring up the villagers. They keep telling them the vaccine will rot off the children's arm.
Yeah, every time we get a positive reaction on the vaccine, they'll be ready to kill us.
Well, you can't blame the witch women. We're stealing their business.
I must go now, senores.
What's the matter?
My grandmother is dying.
What happened?
It's the lung sickness. They have sent for a priest, but it is a long way from Colima. I do not think he will make it in time. I will be back in the morning.
Well, come on, we'll help you.
You're very kind, senor. But it is the lung sickness, and she is old.
Are you sure it's tuberculosis?
Of that I can be very sure. Most of our people die of it.
Well, let's take the Jeep. Come on.
Soy muy honrada. My grandmother says she is proud that you have come to her death.
we had some streptomycin, we might be able to help.
If the cavitation she's got, it wouldn't do any good anyway.
If we got any ephedrine.
Be an awful drain on her heart.
You said she was terminal, at least to give her some comfort.
Doctores, buenos. No soy digna. No soy digna.
She says she's not worthy of the foreign doctors to treat her.
Well, we're not doctors, and we can't treat her.
Angelina, there's no cure at this stage.
She knows, but she is grateful.
And tell her this is just to make her breathing a little easier.
Esto le ayudará a la respiración. No llore. ¿Siente mejor?
You know, the priest is just never going to get here. I mean, did you look at that place in there? What good did her faith ever do her?
It's not my dream house. But we make big demands on our world because we've got no other. These people believe in another world, in God.
Well, I believe in man. That's why I'm here.
You believe in man, you believe in God. You like the product? You gotta admire the manufacturer.
If we had a hospital, decent facilities, we might be able to reverse a lot of this, but we haven't.
Look, this is not a total loss. Before we came here, they did not only have medicine or public health, they never heard of anything except their witch women.
Oh, well, it's not enough to tell them.
Look, we're telling them we're doing everything we can. Martin, what's the matter with you? You got all the instincts of a doctor. What are you fighting it for?
Because doctors is not all they need. There's so much more to be done, and to do that the best way, you just got to change the whole system.
You can't change systems. You've got to change people. And that you do pretty good. Angelino thinks you're a cross between Dr. Schweitzer and St. Francis. Look, you leave a line of people like that behind you, and you've changed the system from inside, automatically.
You make it sound like some sort of a vaccination.
Fine. You don't cure the disease. You set up a defense in the body.
Senor. Senor, my grandmother wishes for you to have this. It is all she has to give.
I didn't do anything for her.
It is for what you have done for me, senor.
Doctor.
Yes.
Gracias. Digo.
I'm sorry, Father, you're too late.
You are the North Americans of the Peace Corps?
Yes.
You are of our faith?
I was.
You are not now?
I have no faith.
You have no faith? You have left your home, 5,000 miles away, to come here and work with my people? And you still say you have no faith? She's at peace now. You are angry. Have I said something to offend you?
No, it's not you, Father. It's just the conditions here. In America, that woman would have lived for 30 more years.
In your country, things are better. And that is good. But to die, it's not so bad.
How can you say that? 10 minutes ago, that woman was something. Now she's nothing. And how can anything be good when it's not alive?
Being alive. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means to be born, to be healthy, to move, to feel, hear, see. I know no other way of being alive. Do you? Is there another way of being alive?
I believe in a much greater life. A life that includes all that you have described and more.
Oh, yeah, well, you're talking about heaven? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I used to believe in that, but I'm not so sure now. I'm talking about right now, Father, now. I mean Angelino, I mean those children, I mean all your people.
You're right. We must work together. The life of my people must be fuller.
Then, Father, how can you say, then, that woman in there is in peace? She didn't even know what it was to be alive. She never had a chance.
She never had a chance? She loved God. She loved many people, and they all loved her. From where I see it, she knew who she was. She considered herself to be a very happy human being. Can you say the same thing?
Oh, Father, look, I don't know what happiness is. That's what I'm doing here. I'm looking for it.
Do you think you have come to the right place?
I don't know.
I think you have.
Now, why do you say that? You don't know me.
I know you love my people. You serve them well.
What does that have to do with happiness? Now, do you see any results?
You may not be able to see any results in them and in yourself, but my people know you care. That's good for them. It's good for you. When one man feels for the pain of another out of love, God is present, and with him comes happiness.
Are you trying to tell me that I'm gonna find God and happiness in a dirty little hut like that? Surrounded by my own frustrations?
I think so. Christ had many frustrations, and yet it was he who said, "Whatever you do to the least of my brothers, you do to me."
Simone Weil, the very perceptive Jewish thinker, says that the need for meaning is the deepest desire of the human heart. I have felt this need, so have you. We have felt it every day of our lives. I wish I could tell you that there was some simple, easy way to satisfy this need, once and for all, but I can't. Giving your life meaning and purpose is a daily challenge, and it's never easy. But I can tell you that it's bound up with contacting God. Thou hast made us for thyself, O Lord, St. Augustine prays, and our hearts are restless until they rest in thee. But how is God to be contacted? Sometimes he seems so very far away. He may seem far away, but he's not. He's as close as the closest human being. I believe that God can be found in the pain and need of our fellow human creatures. In loving them, we're loving God. In serving them, we're serving him. In reaching out to help them, we contact God. And to contact God is to discover the real meaning, the true purpose of our lives.
Insight is a production of the Paulist Fathers, a group of Catholic priests who serve their God by serving those outside their church.